Hi, welcome to Graphic Details. We've got some interesting news this week. It seems that Thor is going to get a new continuing series, but twist, this time he's a lady.
Just to clarify, he is not turning into a woman. This is a separate character who will be taking up the hammer and powers and responsibilities of Thor while Thor is on some sort of godly vacation.
Thor will still continue to exist while this female Thor, who is not, it has been stressed, she-Thor, Thoress,
Thorita.
Thorella.
Thorita being my favourite.
Thorita's a good one. Thorita sounds like something you'd have with cheese and nachos.
Jason Aaron is writing the series and seems really interested in it. I think that's cause to be optimistic. Jason Aaron has been writing everything else in Marvel at the moment and doing a pretty good job.
Writing it pretty well.
Yeah. He also writes female characters. Well, you know, like people, so that's always optimistic.
He's good at weird as well, and there's one thing, this is kind of a weird announcement, so...
It is, and also, like, it's space stuff. Any of the cosmic stuff, you've got to embrace the weird. There have been 2 pieces of promo art released showing the costume and design, and some elements of it are really cool. I like the, helmet and the helmet mask thing going on.
Yeah, and just the whole thing, the bare arms, not like the armor, and the what you call them, the...
Bracer?
Gauntlet, bracer things,
yeah.
Bracers. It's a really nice outfit.
It is, and the art's really good. I have some issues in the full-length image. You can see there's kind of like this armor girdle thing, armor corset, which is like hardly unique to this one design, but is a problem I frequently have because I think they look kind of silly. But I mean, other than that little quibble, I think it looks good. Then only days later, we had the announcement that Sam Wilson, the Falcon, would be taking over as Captain America when Steve Rogers stepped down in upcoming, issues, I suppose. Which I expected to receive a much more negative reaction than it did.
Yeah, because normally just people are horrible racists constantly on the internet. Like, we see this over and over again constantly, and this maybe just hasn't sunk in yet, but people, it hasn't been a wholly negative response, which is at least refreshing.
If you compare it to what happened with, the reveal of Miles Morales as Spider-Man, or the casting of Heimdall, or the Human Torch.
Yeah, just toxic, awful
that
stuff.
That was really appalling, whereas here we're just getting a bit of fanboy moaning.
Yeah, well, I think part of it is that, Captain America is still alive and people think, yeah, he'll be back eventually.
Yeah, which I think is also a problem for the other side of it, is people are like, well, this isn't really the elevation of a character of colour, it's just like a stand-in, But of course not the first African-American Captain America.
No.
Because Isaiah Bradley, whose then grandson, Eli, was in the Young Avengers.
I think grandson.
Grandson, I think,
probably.
Yeah.
It's just funny to see some of the headlines that are, Captain America is black now. It really should be Captain America is black again. This has happened before.
The new Avengers lineup has also been announced, which is very interesting. If you've been reading Original Sin, it's less surprising because it's a lot of characters who are prominent in Original Sin, though with a few surprising additions. There's 2 Inhumans and also Scarlet Witch. And you can see in this image, new Thor, new Captain America, a Deathlock that bears a lot of resemblance to the character from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which has nearly nothing to do with the Deathlock of the comics, so uncertain where that's gonna come in. Also in this new Avengers lineup is Angela, who has come over from Spawn, originally created by Neil Gaiman, to appear. She's been in the Guardians of the Galaxy for a little while now.
Recently revealed to be Thor's sister.
Spoiler alert. It has actually been quite an interesting character. I think more interesting than a lot of people thought she was going to be when she first arrived. It's been pretty good, actually. So I'm excited to see her in the Avengers.
My one wish is that she gets a less 1990s costume, because it's ridiculous.
Also, new Iron Man that may or may not be Tony Stark. People have pointed out the reduction in the number of Jack Kirby-owned characters with this new Avengers lineup, which they've connected to the ongoing suit between Lisa Kirby and the Kirby estate and Marvel.
Well, it's true that, they haven't actually gotten rid of the characters. They've changed all the Jack Kirby characters to make them kind of unrecognisable. There's still a Captain America, but now he's Falcon, really. And there's still Thor, but now it's a she-Thor.
Or not a she-Thor.
Not a she-Thor. I
think it's probably not related because Marvel seems really confident it's going to beat this suit again.
Yeah, they beat it, 3 times now?
Yeah, pretty much. If you count the time that they started suing the studios and Marvel got it disallowed.
It is just kind of a shame, though, that Jack Kirby got a raw deal, but this is...
Yeah, but it's also not Jack Kirby suing. It's Jack Kirby's daughter who didn't draw these characters. So, while I do think, Silver Age Comics was really bad to most of its creators, Lisa Kirby didn't create these characters.
So I was saying earlier that I thought this new female Thor was a bit of a gimmick, and you disagreed?
Well, only that I think that they did it in this way for publicity. I think they're using the fact that they're making Thor a woman for publicity, but I think every comic goes, look at this cool thing I'm doing, look at me, because they need to sell their comics. But people tend to use the word gimmick when women or people who aren't white are involved. So every time you try to diversify comics, oh, it's just a gimmick. They don't really need to do that, it's just a gimmick, they're just trying to get attention, rather than, no, people who aren't just straight white males exist in the world and they also need to be in comics. It's not all a gimmick, it's not all a token, this is just the way it should look.
Well, yeah, but I remember someone tweeted at Dan Slott when he killed Peter Parker that time that it was just a gimmick, and Dan Slott said, yeah, of course it's just a gimmick. And I agree with him, like, comics is all gimmicks. And in the Silver Age you'd have pictures of, like, on the cover of Superman getting killed by Clark Kent, and you gotta open the comic to read what's happening, and like an issue where Jimmy gets his superpowers or something crazy. That's all comics are. It's just these crazy, weird gimmicks to grab your attention. Let us know what you think of these new character redesigns, and let us know what characters you think need to be redesigned in the comments.
Also let us know what you're reading at the moment and what you've thought the comics coming out this week. See you later, guys.
Bye.